over this, in a great elbow chair, sat a very bent and aged woman. Her face was furrowed, and seamed with numberless lines and wrinkles, but her eyes were still bright, and she wore no spectacles. Likewise her white hair was wonderfully thick and abundant, as could plainly be seen beneath the frill of her cap, for, like the very small room of this very small cottage, she was extremely neat and tidy. She had a great, curving nose, and a great curving chin, and what with this and her bright black eyes, and stooping figure, she was very much like what a witch should be, albeit a very superior kind of a witch. She sat for a while, staring up at Bellew, who stood tall and bareheaded, smiling down at her, and then, all at once, she nodded her head 3 several and distinct times. "Right!" she quavered, "right! Right! It be all right! The golden man as I've watched this many a day, wi' the curly hair, and the sleepy eye, and the tiger mark upon his arm. Right! Right!" "What do you mean by tiger mark?" enquired Bellew. "I mean, young master with your golden curls, I mean as, sitting here day in, and day out, staring down into my fire, I has my dreams. Leastways, I calls 'em my dreams, though there's them as calls it the second sight. But pray sit down, tall sir, on the stool there, and you, my tender maid, my dark lady, come you here, upon my right, and, if you wish, I'll look into the ink, or read your pretty hand, or tell you what I see down there in the fire. But no, first show what you have brought for old Nannie in the blessed basket, the fine, strong basket as holds so much. Yes, set it down here, where I can open it myself, tall sir. Eh, what's this? Oh, tea! Oh, God bless you for the tea, my dear, and eggs, and butter, and a cold chicken. The Lord bless your kind heart, Miss Anthea. Oh, my proud lady, happy the man who shall win ye, happy the man who shall wed ye, my dark, beautiful maid. And strong must he be, aye, and masterful he who shall wake the love light in those dark, great, passionate eyes of yours. And there is no man in all this world can do it, but he must be a golden man, with a tiger mark upon him. Why, oh Nannie! Aye, blush if you will, my dark lady, but Mother Dibbin knows she's seen it in the fire, dreamed it in her dreams, and read it in the ink. The path lies very darker for ye, my lady, aye, very dark it be, and full o' cares, and troubles, but there's the sun shining beyond, bright and golden. You be proud, and high, and scornful, my lady, 'tis in your blood. You need a strong hand to guide ye, and the strong hand shall come. By force you shall be wooed, and by force you shall be wed, and there be no man strong enough to woo and wed ye, but him as I've told ye of, him as bears the tiger mark." "But, Nannie," said Anthea again, gently interrupting her, and patting the old woman's shrivelled hand, "you're forgetting the basket, you haven't found all we've brought you yet." "Aye, aye," nodded old Nannie, "the fine, strong basket. Let's see what more be in the good, kind basket. Here's bread, and sugar, and—" "A pound of your favourite tobacco," said Anthea with a smiling nod. "Oh, the good weed, the blessed weed!" cried the old woman, clutching the package with trembling fingers. "Ah, who can tell the comfort it has been to me in the long, long days, and the long, long nights, the blessed weed, when I've sat here a looking and a looking into the fire. Oh, God bless you, my sweet maid, for your kindly thought!" And, with a sudden gesture, she caught Anthea's hand to her lips, and then, just as suddenly, turned upon Bellew. "And now, tall sir, can I do aught for ye? Shall I look into the fire for ye, or the ink, or read your hand?" "Why yes," answered Bellew, stretching out his hand to her. "You shall tell me two things, if you will. First, shall one ever find his way into the Castle of Heart's Desire, and secondly, when?" "Oh, but I don't need to look into your hand to tell you that, tall sir, nor yet in the ink, or in the fire, for I've dreamed it all in my dreams. And now, see you, 'tis a strong place, this castle, with thick doors, and great locks, and bars. But I've seen those doors broke down, those great locks, and bars burst asunder. But there is none can do this but him as bears the Tiger Mark. So much for the first, and for the second. Happiness shall come riding to you on the full moon, but you must reach up, and take it for yourself, if you be tall enough." "And even you are not tall enough to do that, Mr. Bellew," laughed Anthea as she rose to bid old Nannie good night, while Bellew, unnoticed, slipped certain coins upon a corner of the chimney piece. So old Nannie blessed them, and theirs, past, present, and future, thoroughly and completely, with a fine comprehensiveness that only a genuinely accomplished old witch might hope to attain to, and, following them to the door, paused there with one shrivelled, claw like hand uplifted towards the sky. "At the full o' the moon, tall sir!" she repeated, "at the full o' the moon! As for you, my dark eyed lady, I say, by force you shall be wooed, and by force you shall be wed, aye, aye! But there is no man strong enough except he have the Tiger Mark upon him. Old Nannie knows, she's seen it in the ink, dreamed it in the fire, and read it all in your pretty hand. And now, thank ye for the tea, my pretty, and God bless ye for the good weed, and just so sure as you've been good and kind to old Nannie, so shall fortune be good and kind to you, Miss Anthea." "Poor old Nannie!" said Anthea, as they went on down the grassy lane, "she is so very grateful for so little, and she is such a gentle old creature really, though the country folk do call her a witch, and are afraid of her because they say she has the evil eye, which is ridiculous, of course. But nobody ever goes near her, and she is dreadfully lonely, poor old thing." "And so that is why you come to sit with her, and let her talk to you?" enquired Bellew, staring up at the moon. "Yes." "And do you believe in her dreams, and visions?" "No, of course not," answered Anthea rather hurriedly, and with a deeper colour in her cheeks, though Bellew was still intent upon the moon. "You don't either, do you?" she enquired, seeing he was silent. "Well, I don't quite know," he answered slowly, "but she is rather a wonderful old lady, I think." "Yes, she has wonderful thick hair still," nodded Anthea, "and she's not a bit deaf, and her eyes are as clear and sharp as ever they were." "Yes, but I wasn't meaning her eyes, or her hair, or her hearing." "Oh, then pray what were you pleased to mean?" "Did you happen to notice what she said about a man with a Tiger Mark?" enquired Bellew, still gazing up at the moon. Anthea laughed. "The man with the Tiger Mark! Of course, he has been much in her dreams lately, and she has talked of him a great deal." "Has she?" said Bellew. "Ha!" "Yes, her mind is full of strange twists and fancies. You see she is so very old, and she loves to tell me her dreams, and read the future for me." "Though, of course, you don't believe it," said Bellew. "Believe it!" Anthea repeated, and walked some dozen paces or so before she answered, "No, of course not." "Then None